What type of fencing should I use if I'm gonna raise pigs? That is a question that we get asked a lot, and we're gonna share with you guys our best practices and the different types of fencing methods that you can use and the types that we particularly use on our farm. It's all a part of this series helping you guys start your pastured pig operation this year. It's all coming up on Hares and Harrows Farmstead. Hey guys, what's going on? Matthias here with Hares and Harrows Farmstead. Thank you so much for tuning into this channel and hopefully this whole series on starting up your pastured pig operation. Thank you so much for checking out our channel. If you could like and subscribe and hit that notification button. Again, as we always say, that helps us move this information out to more people and help more people start up their farming endeavors. So what we want to talk about on this video is fencing, what different types of fencing that you can use. We've actually got some in the barn that I'm going to show you that we'll be setting up here just in the next few weeks because we have pigs coming in exactly 1 month. So we're super excited about that. We got 20 Berkshire, GOS Berkshire crosses that are coming here, and very excited about it this year. A lot of people will tell you that you need a ton of very heavy duty, super strong fencing. And that is true if you're gonna do traditional fencing for your pigs. If you're gonna use hog panel and wood fencing or anything like that, it does need to be very strong and it needs to go into the ground a little bit because the pigs will root right down underneath that and escape like that. However, I don't believe that that's the best method for two reasons. One, it's definitely not cost effective. It is super expensive to put down permanent fencing in pasture. Two, it is not portable, which for us, if you're in a pasture operation and you're rotating your pigs on pasture, also not a great option because it's not portable. You can't move it around when your pigs move on pasture. But it can be a better option for those just looking to put a small pin in. Anyone putting a small pin in around their barn or anything like that, that's actually going to be a pretty good option. I would still use electric wire around the bottom, around snout height, I guess, which you'll need to raise throughout the season. But that can be a good option for those looking to just put them in a small pen in their barn. But what we're going to do is we're going to head on into the barn and I'm going to show you the materials that we use for our fencing and kind of run you through the costs and whatnot. All right, guys, so here we are in the barn. There are 3 different things that we use to build our, these chickens are so sticking loud. I'm sorry if you can't hear what I'm saying, but I can't get them to be quiet. There are 3 things that we use for our fencing. We use portable fence chargers that are solar powered. We use portable step-in posts that are plastic. You can pick them up at any farm supply store. And then we use thin polywire aluminum. We go with the aluminum and we'll explain that in a minute. But that's what we use all the way around. We use 2 strands of that. One at general, like around snout height, and then the other at the tip of the ears. And of course that changes throughout the season, so you have to adjust the heights. So let me show you those real quick. What I've got here is our Premier One solar powered charger. Now the reason I like these as opposed to the solar powered chargers that you can find at your farm supply store is these guys right here. These are your ground post. These little spikes right here. And you can just take this little alligator clip, wherever it is right here. Take this little alligator clip, clip it on there. Actually, this one, the black one. So you'll clip that right onto those, and those stick right in the ground, and then you just clip the other one to the wire and you're good to go. The reason that we want that is because this remains portable. We're able to move this wherever we move the fence. And the other ones, you have a ground rod that you have to put into the ground. They're ridiculously hard to pull out of the ground once they've been in there for a while. And so we, and the T-post that the other charger goes on, pain in the butt to move around and pound into the ground. These are super simple. once we have created all the pastures, because what we'll do this year is we'll create one pasture at a time, and we'll use this to charge each individual pasture until we have probably 3 pastures total that are all connected to each other, and then we'll start to use the other one that is the other charger that's more permanent. And the reason we use that is because it's a 5-miler. I don't have to keep on moving it after we've got all the pastures in, but this is super convenient for when I do have to move them. These are a little bit more expensive. You can find them, I think, just under, they're probably like 290 something. I don't know, around just under 300 bucks on PremierOne.com. They have a lot of different fencing options. You can use also you can use hog panel netting or hog netting. That is electric netting that is portable and movable. It's step-in post just like we use for this. It's a little bit of a hassle to deal with, but you can use it and it works really well for especially small training areas. So the second thing we use is this polywire right here. This is aluminum. We go with aluminum because, as it states on here, it has 20 times more shocking power than stainless steel. And we want that because when we're moving the pastures around and we are connecting them all together, once we have the large pasture in different sections with different paddocks and whatnot set up, there's going to be more opportunity for bramble and other stuff and taller grass to hit this line and ground it out. And the more that happens, the less power there is. So we want to make sure that we're maximizing power so that even if that is happening where we don't see it or don't, good night, where we don't catch it on a certain day, we're still in business and good to go and no pigs are escaping. And then these are the fence posts that we use. We used these for quite some time. And the ones that are in good shape still, we're going to continue to use. But these are fiberglass all the way down, even in the spike. And the problem with that is we have stinking rooster. We have really rocky soil, and this spike right here, once you hit those rocks, or even once you've just put it in the ground and pulled it out a ton of times, they start to splinter and shatter a bit, and then they're really hard to get into the ground. So we went with this option because it has the metal spike and we don't run into that issue. The other thing we liked about, or we don't like about these, is that they have fewer options for height levels for the wire. So these are pretty much the only 2 we can use all year round. This one, we have these 3 options, and even 4 once we get to the larger hogs up here. And that just allows us to adjust the height a little bit more. The other thing you can do is use rebar with the little yellow insulator clips that you can put on there. A lot of people choose that option. We just didn't this year because it's a little bit more expensive. These are like less than $2 a pop. These are the exact same price for both of these. So that's why we definitely recommend these ones right here. Find those at any farm supply store and probably a couple others. All right, guys, so those 3 materials are literally the only infrastructure that we use for our pastured pig operation. We do have the barn, which does help because that's where we keep them when they're still young and it's a little chilly outside. But other than that, and we use it as a training pen. We set up the stalls for the training pen. Other than that, that's all we use is the wire, the fence charger, and the posts. So if we're looking at the fence charger being $300, then you got the fence post, we'll say you need 60 just for this scenario for a small 4 pig pasture. Probably 60, maybe a little bit more, don't quote me, but I'm guessing around 60. And then, so that's 60 posts at, let's say $2 to be safe. You're looking at 120 bucks there. And then another 40 in the fence wire, probably, again, don't quote me on that. So another $40 on the fence wire. So total about $460 is what you're going to be able or need to invest in the fencing if you're doing a pastured pig operation or any operation. It doesn't have to be a large pastured operation. That can be a small. I mean, what I'm talking about is 10,000 square feet. You could even go even less than that. So it's going to cost you a little less in materials, but you don't have to build. You know, even like the fencing you see behind me, that was made for goats because they will escape out of pretty much anything. If it's not going to hold a goat, it's not going to hold a water. It's not going to hold water. It's not going to hold a goat, as the saying goes. But pigs, they respect a line really well. So if 450, 460 bucks is the max that you're spending on your fencing and infrastructure, I say that's a pretty sweet deal. All right, guys, that is a wrap for this video. Thank you so much for checking it out. As always, I ask at the beginning and the end of each video, please like and subscribe and hit that notification button. All three are super important so that we can get our videos out to more people and a wider audience so that we can help more people with their farming adventures, which is what we're most passionate about on our farm. Thank you guys for checking out this video. The next one's gonna be on feeders and waterers, so make sure to check that one out as well. And yeah, that's about it. We love you guys, and we'll see you next time on Hares and Harrows Farmstead.